Arsenal in talks with Spanish Wonderkid. Welcome back to your boy's channel, welcome back to some Arsenal news. Join me today as we discuss Arsenal being linked with a few players and Arsenal squad planning for the summer, as well as getting an update on the Arsenal versus Man City team news and what players are fit and what players are not. And also, what has Pep Guardiola said about Mikel Arteta? Let's discuss in today's video. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Powers14 and welcome back to your boy's channel. Quickly before we get into the video, make sure to go down there and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and let me know your thoughts in the comments on the game going in on the Sunday against Man City and what are your predictions. And with that being said, let's get into today's video and let's discuss some Arsenal news today and get an Arsenal update. Here we go. First thing in discussion is Arsenal starting their summer transfer plan, and the first player in discussion is a Spanish wonderkid called Bryan Gil. As Mundo Deportivo have said today that Arsenal and Barcelona are keen on signing Sevilla 20-year-old left winger Bryan Gil. The Spaniard has a €35 million release clause in his contract. €35 million for a 20-year-old who, I won't lie to you, I had not heard a single thing about prior to today. I'm not quite sure about this. But the report has claimed that Monchi, the current Sevilla sporting director, is working to extend Bryan Gil's contract with a higher release clause of €150 million. The winger is currently on loan at Eibar. €150 million. I mean, listen, for a guy you haven't heard about, clearly he's got a lot of talent and these men clearly rate him very, very highly. But in terms of the research that your boy has done, he has got 3 goals and 2 assists this season, and from the type of player that I have seen and the little clips I have seen, he looks like a creative type of attacking midfielder who can play out wide as well, and it kind of is similar to Smith Rowe and Martin Odegaard. And of course, as I've just said, he is right now on loan to Eibar in Spain, but of course he is owned by Sevilla, who are a team that are in the Champions League. But I won't lie to you and say I'm an expert in the player, cause I ain't. But one thing I will say, from the type of player that he looks like he is, it kind of indicates what Arteta wants from his team and his wingers. Because right now the wingers we have at our club, you know, Pepe, Saka, Nelson, Willie and Martin, they're all, you know, pacey wingers that like to stay out wide. But what we saw in the game yesterday against Benfica, the ball fest against Benfica, is Smith Rowe playing out wide. We saw the same thing against Leeds, and it's indicating that maybe Arteta wants a different type of more creative wide player, and that is exactly what Bryan Gil looks like, at least from the outside looking in. And so maybe it's indicating what Arteta wants and the summer plans are underway. But saying that paying €35 million for a winger when that's not Arsenal's priority, and central midfield and defence as well are far bigger priorities, I'm not quite sure about this. And so, you know, when your boy's not excited about a transfer, you know it ain't it. So let me know your own thoughts if you knew anything about Bryan Gil, and would you take him at Arsenal? I don't know, let me know your thoughts. But one player who I definitely would take at Arsenal is Wonderkid, and we have a Fabrizio Romano update on this. As Fabrizio has said that Leicester are now interested in signing Wonderkid. He is on the list of as a potential target for the midfield. Many clubs have asked info to Lille as his contract is expiring in June 2022, a big opportunity, but Leicester are now planning to open talks. And one of those clubs we all know is Arsenal. We were in contact with him in the summer, we were in contact with him before that in the January 2020 window as well. And so Arsenal clearly have long-standing interest in the central midfielder who plays for Lille, and he's, for me, gonna be, if Arsenal can sign him, a very good partner to Thomas Partey. I've always alluded to why Arsenal need to sign younger central midfielders, because it's the one area of the pitch where we just don't have younger players and we are gonna struggle with. Partey's 27, Xhaka is 28, they're getting to the peak years right now, but we need to find some midfield security, and for me, Wonderkid is the perfecto mundo option for that. Because for me, not only does he offer Arsenal short-term, you know, depth in midfield, but ultimately long-term security when you're getting a player who's just 21 years of age and has bags of potential as well as instant impact as well. And one of Soumaré's biggest traits as a central midfielder is his ball progression, and after watching yesterday's game with Xhaka and Ceballos struggled to pass the ball forwards 5 yards, and I think is a player that Arsenal should look to sign most certainly. But let me know your own thoughts on Soumaré and what other Arsenal central midfielder should we look to sign. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, my fellow scouts, and would you take Soumaré as well? I don't know, let me know. Moving on, lads, let's discuss Man City versus Arsenal pre-match news. Because of course we do have Man City in a matter of 2 days, 2 days now. Bro, I am not looking forward to this. But one thing I am looking forward to see potentially is Martin Odegaard starting once again for me, because he needs to start. And let's have a look at the stats from Odegaard yesterday. 89 minutes played, 67 touches, 44 passes, 3 key passes and 5 duels won as well. It was a complete attack midfield performance, and he was let down by the rest of the Arsenal players. And what I'm impressed me the most about Odegaard was the vision to find the passes in behind and to, look for the passes in the first, but then play it with the perfect weight of pass. Arsenal clearly have a very talented, creative midfielder here who has that Mesut Ozil genetic of creativity and looking for assist. And ultimately yesterday, he clearly could have had 2 assists on his own, and that's exactly why for me, going into the game against Man City on the Sunday, we need to see Odegaard start once again down the middle as the number 10. And in terms of ESR, Emil Smith-Rowe, I'm not forgetting about you, but I think it's about time you got a bit of a rest, because yesterday he struggled to get involved in the game and ultimately had one of his worst, if not his worst games in an Arsenal shirt. And for me, the stats are telling, as is shown here. Minutes played since the Southampton game on the 23rd of Jan, Smith-Rowe's played 470 minutes, bettered by Saka, Cedric, Bellerin and Xhaka. And so for me, that's an indication to why Smith-Rowe is starting to fade off, because for me, he just does not have the fitness levels with his previous injuries to be playing that many minutes all of a sudden. And so for me, I would rest Smith-Rowe in the game against Man City, and even rest the likes of Bukayo Saka as well, because these players are too important to get injured and they deserve a rest as well. But also in terms of Bellerin and Xhaka and even Cedric, as much as I haven't rated them, they have played a lot of minutes and maybe they deserve a rest as well, but I don't know if they're going to get that. And in terms of the front line versus Man City, is Pepe going to start? I mean, we've got some interesting quotes from Arteta. As James Ben says, when I asked him about Nicolas Pepe's development, he said, I've seen a lot of things in his mentality, the way he approaches every training session, in his game understanding. He hasn't had the continuity of a month that every player seeks, but overall there is a lot of progress. And also another very interesting thing last night was see Martinelli come on down the middle. Now I told you so, your boy told you he was going to play there, but he wasn't involved at all because we couldn't get the ball to him. But it was a sign once again that Mikel Arteta sees Gabriel Martinelli as a striker over a winger. But saying that, in terms of my predicted lineup going into the game, I've gone for Leno in goal, Bellerin, Holding, Mari, Cedric as the back four, El Neni in Ceballos in midfield, Odegaard, Pepe, Martinelli out wide, and Lacazette down the middle. Your boy won't lie to you, the lineup is a very sticky one, and I'm not sure who's going to start. I don't have a clue, to be honest with you. And in terms of the defensive partnership, I know Man City have a great attack and I'm already fearing them, but I think Pablo Mari deserves to come back into the team. He's fully fit, and Rob Holding hasn't played for the last 2 games, so I expect him to start as well. Also in terms of KT, Kieran Tesco's fitness, I don't expect him to start. I know he came off the bench because Benfica, but I expect him to be rested and ready for the game on the Thursday again. And in terms of the front four, I know I just said Martinelli is a striker, but I think in this game, with Lacazette not playing the last few games, he's going to play in the middle, and we're going to see Martinelli out wide with his pressing and his work rate in general. But then again, if Arteta is fully devoted on seeing Martinelli down the middle, just don't be surprised then if we see a certain Brazilian winger called Willian starting instead. It is what it is, we're going to move. But let me know your own personal predicted lineups in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts. And in terms of the Man City manager Pep Guardiola, he has been speaking and he has said they, as in Arsenal, have an exceptional build-up. They move with many sense. All the movements they have built up in the final third, the quality for incredible energy for Smith, Saka and Aubameyang, especially with their runs in behind, saying that all the players they have, the quality in the middle to make the process quite well. So that's why they will be also in the present early future a real contender to fight for the title. All those quotes are all well and good, but what it is indicating is Man City are about to thrash us on Sunday, because those quotes there, when Pep says that, the opposite always happens, and that's how football works. And obviously he's going to rate Mikel Arteta. The guy was best friends with him. He was his assistant manager at Man City. But just to make it even worse, breaking news from Man City is that Ilkay Gundogan was part of the full Man City first team training today, but will be need to check before the Arsenal game according to Pep Guardiola. So Gundogan's back. I mean, it can't get any worse surely. Oh yeah, actually it can get worse. 17 wins consecutively. De Bruyne is back, 10 points clear on top. Mahrez rocket, Bernardo Silva is delivering again, and 16 points clear of the current champions Liverpool. Man City are on fire, and we have them in 2 days time. God, why? So if any Arsenal fans are ready to risk it for the biscuit, let me know your own predictions in the comments below, and yeah, we are gonna move on because I can't speak about it anymore. And that is just some other Arsenal news as always. The first thing in discussion is an Arsenal transfer from Bournemouth, as according to Tom Barclay, the Arsenal are leading the race transfer chase for Bournemouth winger Wizkid Ajani Bouchal. The 16-year-old winger became the Cherries' 3rd youngest ever player, making his debut as a late sub in December 5 5-0 win over Huddersfield. Now this guy is a 16-year-old winger, attacking midfielder who's come from Bermuda. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't have a clue anything about him, and I won't say I know anything about him because I haven't seen him play. But one thing that is very interesting is that all of a sudden when Thierry Henry, TT, the Arsenal GOAT, gets a link to a transfer or a managerial role at Bournemouth, all of a sudden out of nowhere we've started getting linked with Bournemouth players. Well, is that something to say? We're gonna have to wait and see. And moving on to something that is very negative, once again, Arsenal players racially abused. Here we go again. First things first is Willian, who's posted today, and as I said here by LT, this is so sad. Every single day an incident like this coming out. How do you expect a player to perform if you abuse them like this? Not everyone can just deal with it, no matter how much they earn. Footballers are human beings at the end of the day. And as I said there, as much as your boy hasn't rated Willian, obviously Arsenal fans don't like him as a player right now, as a person, to go personally and abuse him racially, it's just not on. And it isn't just that, because yesterday Twitter had to permanently suspend an account which was used to send racist abuse to Arsenal's Eddie Nketiah. He would send racist messages telling him to leave the club in response to an Arsenal training picture he posted on Twitter with the caption of just working with a smile. That's now 2 incidents, and it's not just that. There's so many from different clubs though, and it's becoming a regular occurrence, for God's sake. How is this allowed to happen? And ultimately a very good point was made that in terms of these social media companies, when it comes to piracy and a goal getting posted on Twitter, it gets taken down within minutes. But in terms of this racial abuse, it's left there and no one gives a damn for whatever reason. And so I probably speak on behalf of most people for these social media companies. Wake up and make a difference, because this is getting out of hand. I'm getting sick and tired of it, and it's time that we take a stand. But yeah, it's sad to end on that negative news, but last, that was the latest Arsenal news today. Of course, if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to go down there and smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're on the road to 40,000. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and follow all my social media. The links are in the description below. But there you man go, the latest Arsenal news today, and we have a massive game on Sunday. I ain't looking forward to it whatsoever, but it is what it is. Let's hope for the best and we move in a bit.